I'll get one opportunity. One chance. So I'm really nervous about that.
Alright, that's it. Man, balls to the wall right here.
Many WWE female wrestlers they started their careers in wrestling, where they gained fame, strength, and global recognition. Later, they moved on from wrestling to adult-oriented. We explore the stories of 4 female figures associated with professional wrestling whose post-ring careers became widely discussed due to their involvement, either directly or indirectly, with adult-oriented content platforms or industries. These individuals are Chyna, Sunny, Scarlett Bordeaux, and Mandy Rose. It is important to approach these stories with nuance. Each of these women experienced very different circumstances, different eras of wrestling, and very different levels of involvement in adult-oriented media. Some entered the traditional adult film industry, while others built careers in modern digital subscription platforms or premium fan-based content ecosystems. Their journeys are not just personal stories, they also reflect how the wrestling industry and entertainment landscape itself have changed over time. Chyna remains one of the most influential and groundbreaking figures in professional wrestling history. She debuted in WWE during the late 1990s as part of the legendary faction D Generation X, quickly standing out as a physically dominant and unique presence in a male-dominated industry. Known as the ninth wonder of the world, Chyna redefined what was possible for female performers in professional wrestling. At a time when women were often restricted to managerial roles or limited storylines, she competed directly with male wrestlers, breaking long-standing barriers. Her achievements inside the ring remain historic. She participated in the Royal Rumble, competed in intergender matches, and became the first and only woman to win the WWE Intercontinental Championship. These accomplishments solidified her legacy as one of the most physically capable and groundbreaking performers of her era. However, after leaving WWE, Chyna's life became significantly more unstable. She struggled with personal challenges, mental health issues, and difficulty transitioning into life outside of wrestling. Unlike today's digital era, her generation had very limited tools for independent branding or income generation after leaving a major company. Eventually, she became involved in the adult film industry, a decision that generated widespread public attention and controversy. While it altered how some viewed her legacy, it did not erase her accomplishments inside wrestling. Today, Chyna is remembered as both a pioneer and a cautionary example of how difficult post-wrestling transitions can be, especially for performers who were ahead of their time but lacked long-term industry support. Sunny, one of WWE's earliest and most recognizable female personalities, rose to fame during the WWF's New Generation era in the 1990s. She was not just a manager but a full-scale entertainment figure who helped define the role of female characters in wrestling during that period. At her peak, Sunny was considered one of the most popular and influential women in wrestling entertainment. She managed top wrestling talents, appeared in magazines, and became one of the first wrestling personalities to gain massive attention on the early internet. In many ways, she was a prototype for the modern wrestling diva era. Her charisma and screen presence made her a standout figure, and she played a key role in shaping the presentation of wrestling entertainment during a transitional time for the industry. However, after her wrestling career declined, Sunny's life became increasingly troubled. She faced ongoing legal issues, substance abuse struggles, and multiple arrests over the years. These personal difficulties were widely reported and often overshadowed her earlier accomplishments. In her later years, she also became associated with adult content platforms and explicit media appearances, adding another controversial layer to her public image. Sunny's story is frequently discussed as an example of how early wrestling fame, combined with a lack of long-term support systems, can lead to severe personal instability. Despite her struggles, her contributions to shaping female roles in wrestling remain an important part of industry history. Scarlett Bordeaux represents a very different era of professional wrestling compared to Chyna and Sunny. Known for her glamorous, theatrical, and provocative in-ring persona, she has worked across multiple wrestling promotions and built a strong identity centered around character performance and presentation. Unlike earlier figures, Scarlett Bordeaux has not been involved in traditional adult film production. However, she has been associated with subscription-based content platforms where creators offer exclusive or premium material directly to fans. This reflects a major transformation in the entertainment industry. Modern wrestlers are no longer limited to television contracts or company-controlled branding. Instead, they can build personal platforms through social media, fan subscriptions, and digital content ecosystems. Scarlett's career highlights how wrestling personas today extend far beyond the ring. Performers now cultivate long-term digital brands, engaging directly with audiences while maintaining creative control over their image and income streams. Her presence in this evolving space demonstrates how the definition of wrestling celebrity has changed in the digital age, where personal branding is just as important as in-ring performance. Mandy Rose rose to fame in WWE through programs like NXT, where she eventually became a top women's champion. With a strong fitness background, striking appearance, and developing in-ring ability, she quickly established herself as a prominent figure in WWE's modern women's division. Her wrestling career took a major turn when WWE released her following the discovery of content she was sharing on a subscription-based platform. While this content was not traditional adult film industry material, it was considered too explicit under WWE's internal corporate policies. Must be respected. Following her departure from WWE, Mandy Rose experienced significant financial success as an independent digital creator. Through subscription platforms, social media influence, and brand partnerships, she built a highly profitable personal business. Her post-wrestling success made her one of the most talked-about examples of a modern athlete transitioning into full-time digital entrepreneurship. Unlike earlier generations, she was able to leverage technology and personal branding to maintain both income and relevance without relying on a wrestling promotion. Control over content and audience access has become just as important as mainstream visibility. The experiences of these four women highlight a much larger transformation within both wrestling and the entertainment industry as a whole. For earlier generations like Chyna and Sunny, post-wrestling opportunities were extremely limited. Without social media, streaming platforms, or digital monetization tools, performers had very few ways to maintain income or public visibility after leaving major companies. This often led to instability, poor financial decisions, or reliance on controversial industries. In contrast, modern performers like Mandy Rose and Scarlett Bordeaux operate in a completely different ecosystem. Today, wrestlers can directly connect with global audiences through subscription platforms, social media channels, and digital branding strategies. This independence has reduced reliance on large corporations and given performers more control over their careers. However, this shift also introduces new challenges. The boundaries between entertainment, personal branding, and adult-oriented content have become increasingly blurred. Content that is acceptable on one platform may violate policies on another. Public perception can shift rapidly based on online discussions, media coverage, or corporate reactions. As a result, modern wrestling careers are no longer defined solely by in-ring performance but also by how effectively performers navigate digital identity, branding, and audience engagement. The stories of Chyna, Sunny, Scarlett Bordeaux, and Mandy Rose represent four very different eras and four very different approaches to life after professional wrestling. Chyna broke barriers and redefined what women could achieve in the industry, leaving behind a legacy of strength and historic achievement. Sunny helped shape early wrestling entertainment culture and became one of the first female figures to achieve mainstream popularity in the sport. Scarlett Bordeaux represents the modern evolution of wrestling personas extending into digital branding and fan-based platforms. Mandy Rose highlights the rise of independent content creation and financial self-empowerment in the digital era. While their paths differ greatly, they all reflect a shared reality. Life after professional wrestling is unpredictable and deeply influenced by the era in which a performer exists. Success, controversy, reinvention, and struggle often coexist, shaped by both personal decisions and broader changes in the entertainment landscape.